Welcome to Imaginary Lands, the works of award-winning author and storyteller Bobby Pell. Today's selection, The Marriage of Sir Gawain, is a medieval tale which takes place during the heroic days of King Arthur when magic walked the hills. Arthur is tasked with a riddle by a mysterious black knight, and the story leads him on a quest to discover the answer to this question: what is it that a woman desires most?
This is a medieval tale that comes to us from the Celtic traditions called The Marriage of Sir Gawain. It was directly after Christmas. There had been tremendous feasting in the halls. Arthur and his queen Guinevere had had an exceptional holiday. But there had been so many people that it was a time when Arthur felt he needed a little space alone. And so he put on his hunting green and he rode slowly through the forest. As he rode, his guards stayed on the edge of the forest until they could barely hear the horse's steps. Arthur rode and rode until he was deep in the wood. He found that soon he was thirsty, and he came upon a well. There was a bucket, and after he'd lowered the bucket and was drinking some of the water, he heard a voice. "Who are you that dare drink from my well?" The king looked up. There before him stood a tremendous black knight. He held a club from behind his back that now was raised in the air. He sat upon a stallion as sleek as the darkest night. Why, I am Arthur, King of all Britain, and who might you be, sir?" "I am the Black Knight, and it is from my well that you have taken your water. Arthur, if ye be king, then answer me this riddle, for its answer shall be thy ransom. And if you know it not, then you must give me all your lands. Tell me this, what is it that women desire most?" Arthur thought about this for a moment. Normally they would have fought, but since he was in his hunting greens, the knight had not asked for that. And Arthur said to him, "I shall return within a year's time with that answer." "Very well," said the knight, and they parted. Arthur went back to the castle. When he got back to his queenly stateroom, he began to sigh and moan because he was not sure what it was that women wanted most. He asked the queen. Her answer was the right to love freely. He thought that was a good answer, but recognized, what if that's not the right answer? His cousin, Gawain, came in. Arthur, whatever is the problem?" "Oh, Gawain, you won't believe it. I was hunting and I found a knight, the blackest knight I'd ever seen, and he challenged me with this riddle. What is it that women desire most? I must go back upon New Year's Eve and give him the answer." "Arthur, what if you were to send a page out among the women of the village and ask them what it is? Then you would have a host of answers to choose from." "What a grand idea," he said. And so he did. And he went out and he asked, "What is it, fair lady, that you desire most?" Anything at all. What is it you desire most? Help. She desires help. What is it that you desire most, my lady? Peace. And you? What is it you desire most? Kindness. And you? What is it you desire most?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. These were all wonderful answers, and he wrote them down feverishly. But it wasn't long until the year passed. Arthur went with his list of answers, and as he rode once again slowly through the forest, he wondered if he had the correct answer, and if he did not, would he lose all that he owned? As he was riding, a flash of red caught his eye. He looked, and between an oak and a holly tree, there sat a being, a creature, if you will. It had the form somewhat of a lady, and she was clad in a scarlet robe. He dismounted, for he knew maybe he should ask her as well. As he got closer to her, he looked at her face. He saw that where her eyes should have been, one was stuck in the very center of her forehead, and the other in place of a mouth. Her nose was that of a pig's, slightly turned upward with a mouth to the side. She spoke.
Arthur, I know you. What kind of a knight are you not to come down and speak to a lady? Arthur came down. I know your problem. I know it well, and I can ease your pain. But what will you give me in return?
Arthur thought for a moment. I will give you one of my bravest knights to wed.
Oh, that gives me such pleasure and joy. Then, Arthur, I shall tell you the answer to your riddle. And then you will come back and find me? Yes. Thank you, Arthur. So she whispered it in his ear. And she kind of spat as she went.
Arthur knew now he had the true answer. And so he went to the well. I see you have returned, said the knight. So tell me, what is it that women desire most? Arthur pulled out his list of letters and began reading off all the answers. But the knight simply laughed at them all. He took the letters, he wrapped them up, and threw their pieces to the wind. I shall have everything you own, Arthur. I will be king. But wait, I have one other answer. For you see, I met a woman. She was clad in scarlet, sitting between an oak and a holly. And she told me this. She said that what a woman desires most is her own will. She desires sovereignty over her own life, not to be mandated by anyone else.
You have seen my sister. I will see her burn in the fires of eternity.
And with that, the rage consumed him so that the Black Knight shattered like glass into thousands of pieces and vanished. Arthur went back to Camelot. He brought all his knights with him, not telling them of this new quest. When they got into the woods, he came close to the woman whose name was Dame Ragnell. Sir Kay was the first to spot her. Oh, the man who kisses that face, will live in fear. And then he caught sight of her nose.
Oh, that snout! Whoever kisses this woman will always live in doubt.
And then Arthur said, one of you is to wed her for a wife. A wife? Cried Kay. How could we do that? A wife? A wife, you say? And before Arthur knew it, his other knights quickly took up their hawking and their hounds, and they were gone. But Gawain, the gentle knight, remained. Arthur, it was your word to her, a promise, was it not? Yes, he said. I will keep that promise. I will wed the dame.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh, I think I like him very much. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you.
And so they rode back to Camelot. The preparations were made, and when Guinevere met Ragnell, they placed their hands in the space between them and together bowed one to the other. For even Guinevere could see the greatness of this hag. They had a quick wedding, and all the guests were moaning, for Gawain was the most beautiful, the gentlest knight of all. How could he be given over into something such as this, such an unholy wedlock? And yet it was done. After the feasting, it was time for them to go to the bridal chamber. Gawain brought up all the strength he had. He went into the room, and he knew that to be a true knight, he must also be a true husband. He sat for just a moment while Ragnell prepared herself.
Gawain, won't you kiss your new bride?
He came over to her and kissed her upon the forehead.
Gawain, is that any way to kiss your bride? I'm now yours.
Gawain looked at her, looked carefully at her, and had to turn away for just a space. And when he did, something happened. He heard a voice. Gawain, Gawain, turn around and see your bride. And when he did, the most beautiful woman he had ever seen stood there. But how could this be? He cried. What happened to the hag? She is my form. She is my curse. And I give this question now to you, husband. Would you have me be the hag by day and a beauty by night? Or would you have me be a beauty by day and a hag by night? You must choose, husband. Well, he thought long and hard, and he said, well, I believe I would choose for you to be a hag during the day and to be a beauty as you share my lover's bed at night. What? You would have me go about in such a terrible form in public while all the other wives of knights are out shopping and all the festivities, and I in a crinkled form? That is how you would have me appear as your proud bride? Well, I hadn't really thought about it like that. Very well. You may have your true form during the day, and I will have you as a hag in my bed. What? You would have me be a hag beside you, lying there in this loathsome form to make love to every night? Well, wife, I feel confused. Like many men, I feel confused. I tell you what, I will let you choose. And with that, a glow came about her. Gawain, Gawain, you have broken the spell. You have broken the curse. For what you have given me is something far more powerful. You have given me my own will. And I choose my natural form of beauty, both day and night. The spell will curse and follow us no more. The next day, Gawain went out to meet the court. They all were curious about how his evening had gone. He walked in with this beautiful woman, and he went up to Kay. Kay, this is my bride. Will you not give her a kiss in brotherly love? And Kay, now looking, said, you have found the most beautiful maid I have ever seen. Gladly, Gawain, gladly. And so he did. And the rest of the day was spent now in the joyful festivities that should have been. And they lived in purest joy. But the reason was because he had sought the answer from within his heart. And they both remained happy for the rest of their days. The marriage of Sir Gawain.